I got in the line that would take me to the other side of the city. I'd be meeting up with Izuku to check up on and pop-up store. It felt cool to be able to hang out with him whenever we felt like it. We didn't need to plan anything. Just send a few texts. I've only ever done that with Bakugo, but it's just nice to have more other friends who can hang out with you. As the subway pulled up to a stop, I quickly jumped off and ran with my backpack full of stuff to where I told Izuku we would meet. My large sunglasses sat atop my head and my candy necklace hung around my neck. Tickets still sticking out of my pocket that I didn't use as the sun was around an hour from setting. I was already knew that we wouldn't be seeing the store, but also probably hanging out. I quickly sent my mom a message so she knew I would be later than expected. As I was walking, I was looking down at my phone, not seeing what was ahead. I ran straight into a pole, banging my head. God, clumsy me. I fell to the ground as I rubbed my head. Yin, are you okay? I heard a familiar voice as it neared me quickly. Yeah, I said, looking up slowly to see the green-haired boy in front of me. If this was anyone else, I would probably be really embarrassed. Like, so embarrassed that you would want to curl up into a ball and dig yourself into a hole. That embarrassed. He held out a hand for me to let me up as his face flushed scarlet. I took it gratefully as I got back on my feet. I felt myself heat up as he blushed. So, want to go to the store? He asked as I shook my head with again focus. Of course, I said, looking down as we began walking. The warm breeze blew against my face, blowing my hair slightly. I could feel Izuku's eyes burn into the side of my head, trying to catch my eye. How had I possibly known this boy for a month? It feels way longer. It feels like every day feels longer when he's here. And the silence between us was nice. It wasn't awkward, it was just appreciated. This was all until we approached the store at the top of this hill. Our eyes lit up as we began running. Turning in, we saw all kinds of stuff. Heroes, villains from all shapes and sizes. Don't know how villains were here, but okay. Glass cabinets full of information and figures. All kinds of posters and books of world-famous heroes. Hey, Izuku, over here. I dragged him over to a part with the pussycats and saw a ragdoll. Awesome! I squealed, fangirling like crazy as Izuku laughed and how cute I was being internally. I picked up the small ragdoll doll from the bench, hoping to get it from our presentation. Once I saw the price, I dropped it as lightly bounced off the floor. No way. No way. Do I have that kind of cash? I screeched before I held my face in my palms. I would have kept it too. I mumbled before feeling a hand on my shoulder. Don't worry about it. I'm sure everything will work out, he said, giving a weak smile as he lightly blushed. I blushed, raising my face too, as he was so close to my face. We looked around a little more as Midoriya freaked out when he saw the All Might section. It looked like a literal shrine for the #1 hero. I smiled at him as we made our way out. That was so cool, don't you agree? I turned to see him not there. Izuku? I asked, hoping he would respond. As I looked from right from left. I'm here, he called back as he tripped over his own feet running to me. You good? I asked as he regained balance next to me. Yeah, just looking at something was all, he said, avoiding eye contact as I smiled in return. You know what? We should head over to the beach. I told him, not wanting to leave. It seemed that he didn't want to either, so he nodded. I stood looking off into nowhere for a moment as I grabbed his hand and dragged him along. The walk to the beach wasn't too far considering that we lived in Japan, where there were tons of people and buildings everywhere, and anywhere that wasn't a city was rice farms. When we reached the beach, I quickly kicked off my shoes and threw them over by the beach huts as I ran down, gesturing him to follow. He did the same and chased me down. Izuku's POV. I felt the sand kicking up the back of my legs as I ran up to her. Quickly, she began to tease me by keeping on running. I continued my chase, determined to catch her. As we began to reach the water, I was right on her tail. This was all until she suddenly stopped, making me knock her over and into the ocean. I looked up and each other before erupting into laughter. She splashed me for knocking her over as I did the same. This turned into a full water fight. I saw her grow tired as the sky turned beautiful shades of purple, orange, and yellow. I stopped her as she sat down in the water and looked up at the setting sun over the horizon. I sat down next to her to take a breath in, taking the sight in. I saw her eyes trail from the sky to the ocean and then towards me, causing me to blush. I can't help myself, okay? This is nice, I said as I continued to watch the sky. Well, every moment is magical when I'm with you. So, I guess that explains a lot, she said, a small smile forming on her face. I wanted to duck my head underwater and scream. How cute. Does she not know she is? But I didn't. I just did the head dunking part to cover how hot my face was. God, her choice of wording was always getting to me. So, Izuku, she said as I looked back up to her calming myself down. Maybe we should start thinking about finding Ragdoll for a presentation. You know, the whole news report video we were going to make, and we planned to review Ragdoll herself, she said, snapping me out of my thoughts. Right. We really need to start thinking about that. Badly. I spoke as I rubbed the back of my head. Hey guys, so this section might be a little long because I have some news today, but I think tonight at 8, I think 8, I plan on streaming again with a certain friend. I know it's a little short notice, but she really wants to stream and talk with you guys because she is obsessed with you guys. I don't know what we're gonna play, so you guys are probably gonna get to pick because I don't know. I really don't know. But anyways, I hope that you guys are ready for the stream at 8 p.m. I think I'm Central Time. Is it Central Time? Yes, it is Central Time. But I hope to see you all there, and I love you all so much. P.S. If you can't make it, it's okay. You can drop in later because, well, it will be up on the YouTube channel just on live streams. Anyways, bye. I love you all so much. Mwah!